So I ate my lunch. Yeah, a big sandwich. It was really good. And afterwards, I was thinking of getting myself another sandwich, but then I was like, oh, I have this apple protein bar, and I had just done a working with Astarte, and um, I I'm trying to get the packaging open, and Astarte comes through to me and like, she's like, apples are sacred to me. I'm like, oh, really? Interesting. And then I look it up, and sure enough, I mean, not that I was really doubting. I like to see if how clear I can find the connection. And there's a lot of information about the spirituality of apples, which also explains why in the Garden of Eden it's shown to be an apple, to be like Astarte. That makes it more of a sexual symbol. Yeah, interesting stuff. Especially since Astarte has at least shown me that she has some relation. She has some. She's related to dragons. I think there's a little bit of something like she's kind of connected to Tiamat, or perhaps she is Tiamat, and Marduk slaying Tiamat is actually Marduk destroying the divine feminine, something like that. I don't know, divine feminine. Basically, that's one problem I have with the modern way of looking at things. Is mythology is a little bit too archetypal, thought about archetypically, because of Jung, I think. Whereas it's like, there's these personas, and they play off against each other, and there's not a lot more to it than that. Of course, the ripples in our world do feel archetypal, but I think it's helpful to understand, to know that like different gods will just create different scenarios, and I think there's a sense of something being inevitable, or something being more like symbolic than a real thing. Well, in the astral plane, this stuff I would say is real. That being said, everything on the astral plane is more flexible and more like consciousness. It's not like, I think that's a wrong idea people have gotten. That people kind of see the material world as being real, and the astral world as being like a projection from our minds in the material world. But actually, the astral world is real, and this material world is the projection. Anyways, so back to the apple. Like, if you cut an apple in half, it'll have like a star shape in it. It'll have a pentagram shape inside, which I always thought was cool as a kid. Like, oh, the star, like, like my one teacher taught me how to draw. Wow. Which I felt there was something so magical in the moment that she taught me how to draw a star. And of course, she taught me to start, just like an A, start at the bottom left corner. And what that does is that banishes Earth. So, yeah, good stuff, cool stuff. Yeah, I didn't look too much more into it, but just to see that apples have so many like spiritual connections, and all fruits have at least all fruits, but probably a lot of vegetables too have all of these spiritual connections. Like oranges, for example, are connected to like Ravana and Sri Lanka. They have a whole ton of different oranges there. I mean, at the end of the day, these are sort of capacitating something spiritually, just in the nature of their formation, to kind of make reference to what Stolas told me. I think he's telling the truth. I think that he told me something accurate. I don't want to completely just say, oh, I channeled something, because not that these spirits would lie to me, but that but more that I don't want to presume on my understanding of it. You know what I mean? I think that's something that I'm really careful, want to be really careful about, and not make a bunch of assumptions. So, yeah.